Growing concerns over white supremacy in America as President Biden issues this new warning about the threat that it poses. What happened is members of the group Patriot Front, who the Anti-Defamation League identifies as white supremacists, wearing masks and matching uniforms, actually marched through Washington, D.C. and the National Mall over the past weekend. And it came on the same day that President Biden called white supremacy the greatest terrorist threat to the country. During a commencement speech at the historically black college, Howard University, this is what he said.
It's a battle that's never really over. But on the best days, enough of us have the guts and the hearts to stand up for the best in us. The most dangerous terrorist threat to our homeland is white supremacy.
And just yesterday, community members in Buffalo, New York, gathered to mark 1 year since that racist mass shooting when an 18-year-old white supremacist targeted black shoppers at Tops Supermarket, killing 10 people. Let's bring in ABC News contributor and former acting undersecretary for intelligence at the Department of Homeland Security, John Cohen. So, John, first, the Patriot Front, back out there in the open. Well, sort of. They all wear sunglasses and masks, so you can't see who they are. But why do you feel that they are so empowered, that they feel empowered? And do you agree that white supremacy is the biggest terrorist threat to the U.S., like the president said?
Well, it's a very significant threat. I mean, if you look over the last 10, 11 years, we've had mass shootings conducted by neo-Nazis and white supremacists in South Carolina, Wisconsin, Kansas, Buffalo, New York. Synagogues have been targeted in Pittsburgh and Poway, California. We had the shooting recently in Allen, Texas. We've had a mass shooting at a Walmart in El Paso. So the threat of violence by white supremacists is very real. But you hit on a really important point. It's not just the violence, but it's the public display of their ideological belief. Through marches, banner drops, leafleting, they engage in vandalism, harassment. They'll go to public events and engage in confrontational interactions. They are making threats online and in the physical world directed at government officials, law enforcement, the Jewish community, African Americans, the LGBTQ+. So it is a serious, serious problem facing the country today.
And is the federal government doing enough to counter that threat? And why can't more Americans just unite against it?
Well, there's a couple challenges. One, there are constitutional protected speech, free speech issues that make this a complicated issue to address. You know, whether we like it or not, people have a constitutionally protected right to express views and perspectives that others may find abhorrent and repulsive. But there's a political aspect to this. Part of what has law enforcement officials across the country concerned is that some of the narrative, some of the rhetoric that is so prevalent on fringe violent extremist forums is being amplified by mainstream public officials, by those running for office, and even some in the media. And what's dangerous about that is when those who are predisposed to violence hear elected officials or people in the media using the same words that white supremacist leaders are using, it validates the use of violence in furtherance of those ideological beliefs. So part of the solution to this problem is we need to ratchet down the use of extremist rhetoric by those in politics, those in government, and those in the media.
Well, let's go right to this perfect segue. Republican Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville recently defending white nationalists during a radio interview, accusing Democrats of inappropriately driving them out of our military. Let's take a listen to Tuberville's answer after the host asks him this question.
The Biden administration trying to prevent white nationalists from being in the military, do you believe they should allow white nationalists in the military?
Well, they call them that. I call them Americans.
So Tuberville went on to mention the attack on January 6th, suggesting that those who broke into the Capitol deserved to be arrested. But he said there were many more, quote, true Americans outside. Now, his office did issue a clarification to Alabama's most read paper, saying that he was skeptical of the notion white supremacists are in our military, not that he believes they shouldn't be. So, John, bottom line, these remarks from a senator can be dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely. Words do matter. And again, from a law enforcement perspective, what we are concerned about are people with white supremacist or any extreme ideological view who will consider using violence or engage in other illegal activity, whether it's the disclosure of classified information or some other type of illegal act, in furtherance of their ideological beliefs. There is a reason why the Department of Defense in 2021 did a stand down so that they could evaluate the issue of extremism in the military ranks. There's a reason why the Department of Homeland Security is reviewing all of their personnel processes so they can have a better handle on issues relating to violent extremism in their ranks. Law enforcement agencies around the world are concerned about infiltration by those with extremist ideological beliefs. Part of the tactic used by violent extremist organizations is to infiltrate military and law enforcement organizations. So it's a problem we have to be concerned about. Again, people have a constitutionally protected right to have perspectives on politics and policy and race, but they don't have the constitutional protected right to, or that constitutionally protected right does not extend to their engaging in violence or other illegal activity. And that's where law enforcement really focuses its attention in preventing those acts of violence.
Absolutely. Point well made. John Cohen, thank you so much.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.